Portuguese.
Well, it says ES.
Oh, I saw a BTS channel with a Portuguese flag, but I don't know.
They've got numerous. They got numerous things going on these days, man. They're all about it. I think that studio actually makes money, which is a really weird concept. I don't know. Join Dota and Moonduck. We don't know anything about that. Uh-oh.
Money?
Yeah. Thought the power might have went out there. You guys didn't pay the bill or something, but I see you're still there. Excellent.
Fuck you.
All right, let's whip out this last draft here. I mean, I didn't even see it obviously as we kind of came in late. Team secret drafts.
Oh, they had a clock Jakiro opener, didn't they?
Looks like this was pretty similar too. There's the ban. We were casting secret recently, right? Were we not?
They looked awful though. They were trying to replicate old drafts from like 6.84 or something, you know.
Yeah.
Puppy opened his little black book and he was pulling out the ET Phoenix, pulling out some other kind of, you know, weird and wonderful things. But it looks like Secret adapted really nicely in the game that they just played against Na'Vi. Which is kind of weird because Na'Vi were doing well in Dream League from what I saw the past couple of days.
And we were just going on about like the mid one ban though, like take care of the Ember Spirit and whatnot. And it looks like these are the exact same 4 bans as their previous opener, and well, it's gonna be the same first pick. And when you're the winning team, that seems pretty good. In response to this, Na'Vi went with the Darkseer Monkey King. I'm kind of still expecting the Darkseer, but I wonder if they're going to try and mix it up with a different position 4 here.
Spirit Breaker or Bounty. I mean, even Io. Io for Seneko is one of his signature heroes. I would love to see him come back on that hero. Bounty Hunter was another one that, you know, could pair up with a Darkseer. Just have Seneko running around and killing stuff, but that was banned out by Secret very early on. But I think if Na'Vi go for, you know, an Io +1 opener here, it would be pretty nice. Even against a Clockwork. You know, you still got hookshot cogs to deal with, but you know, you can tether the target that's cogged inside. Disruptor. But they don't.
So it'll be Disruptor, but not going to go with the 4, though. Just with the 5. I like that, too. Disruptor Dota. So now we were casting quite a bit of the old Mr. Cat, and I believe Disruptor ended undefeated. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it was like, what, 10-0 or something?
Yeah, he won 10 games of Mr. Cat across the entirety of the tournament, and he never lost. And here we are. He's back, and now this is that big combo we've seen. Saw to Kiev a couple times, of course. It's just a classic. It's not exactly some massive genius thing. It's just 2 circles.
Ice Frog, yeah, just Ice Frog blessing CIS teams, honestly. You know, here's some wombo combo, and Disruptor really ties nicely into it. You throw your spells into one spot, and you hope people die. Nothing spectacular about it. I think it's more about how you play Disruptor when you're not team fighting. You know, when you're moving around. If you look at how Solo plays it, he's always very tentative and careful with Disruptor, never playing hyper aggressively. He honestly really bides his time, even holding onto Glimpse when maybe you could get a kill to aim for someone else, like a bigger target.
Yeah. Always hiding in the fog too. You never see him when he plays Disruptor. It's one thing.
Or Warlock. Like I think Solo in general, whatever he plays, he's very good at, you know, playing hide and seek against the enemies. Very rarely gets picked off.
Where are we going here? So Storm Spirit taken out. Assassin taken out. Classic anti-Darkseer. Not too shabby against the Disruptor. Who else do we like against Disruptor? We know who we don't like. Yeah, the old Tide. That used to be the only time we got to see Disruptor, it felt like. And now, I guess KP's still ramming his head against the brick wall that is Tide. He's trying, man. Every time I tune into a newbie game, I'm like, this is it. This is the time they win with Tide Hunter. And they've lost like 5 in a row or something. But they just keep going back to it.
They lost to Ursa. They lost to Vega earlier today, right? Yeah. Ursa's on my mind because it's such a common combination with Disruptor, able to help him when he's being kited so heavily, glimpse one target back and allow him to kind of lock down onto someone.
Yeah, it's not a direct stun, but it works in the lane, just the kinetic field.
Definitely one of Pycat's bigger heroes as well. You know, you think back historically, Sven and Ursa were 2 of his bigger heroes.
Jeez, that's a good point, the Sven. That was like his thing. And now Sven's in, they have Darkseer.
Who was he play? Was it Forcey and L he played for before? What was that team he was on before Na'Vi?
Which one?
Yeah, there were a bunch of them. I mean, am I wrong in thinking he played with Bambo and Forcey and L?
I'm pretty so. Yeah, he was on that roster, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was the team where he really, he really played Sven a hell of a lot. And I remember talking to him at was that the last TI? And he was like, people don't know how to play Sven.
Oh, you know what it was? It was Mama's Boys. I knew it was some stupid ass name. Yes. That's what it was. Because they were around the same time as 4CNL.
Yeah.
Because 4CNL was the Misery team or someone?
That was the Vanskor. That's the Vanscore team that he was on originally.
Oh man.
I can't. These teams, they're like KP. You know, they have such a high turnover of players that come in and out that you can never really keep track on who was playing there. But yes, he played Sven a lot, and he was like, "Why are people buying BKB and AC on Sven? You need to buy Daedalus. You need damage. You need to just kill bitches. You just need to go and kill people." That's how he saw Sven. You know, farm into kill, and we've seen a fair amount of it in a couple of other games. You know, Helm into S and Y, into Blink, and things like that. And when it reaches 15 minutes, you know, you've got 20k net worth, and there's nothing that can stop you.
Well, Clockwork Jakiro. I mean, where do you want to go, guys? Last game, it was the Queen of Pain. They picked it very early, too. All they had seen was a Darkseer, a Monkey King, and a Rubik, and they went for the Queen of Pain. It's kind of interesting. Seems that they probably have a lot of confidence in that hero then. Maybe just the whole idea of just lane dominance, and that being so important with the denies and whatnot. Has a lot of mobility to help out with the Clockwork. His Ember always gets banned, so he can't go for it. Which, notably, I mean, I've heard some discussions saying the Ember might not be a top-tier hero anymore, which could be true, because no one else is really experimenting with it, and yet still, we're going to ban it out from mid one. Just, like, so ownage on it.
Yeah, it is him, right? It's just such an annoying hero to deal with. I kind of thought, when I saw the drafts, I didn't see the drafting phase. I just saw like the drafts, you know, versus each other, and I thought that maybe Secret had picked Queen of Pain into Lina, but it was Na'Vi that picked Lina into Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
Which I find quite interesting because Lina is usually a lane dominator. She wins most of her laning matchups, or at the very least trades farm and forces your opponent to lane under tower. But with Queen of Pain, Blink, and Shadow Strike, you can put so much pressure on, squishy Lina in the first couple of waves that she struggles a lot of the time to actually stick around in lane. Then you drag in supports to come and help, and you offset a lot of the, movement and dynamic of what the supports want to do in the initial couple of minutes, whether it be stacking and pulling, or even supporting, and zoning out the enemy offlaner.
I wonder if that was
switches things so much.
I wonder if that was because of the Monkey King, that they thought that Lina would be someone who could actually follow up with the LSA, initiate onto it, and maybe zone out the Queen of Pain from there. And then, of course, if Queen of Pain gets kicked out of lane somehow, that would be, bode pretty damn well for your team. She doesn't really have much to fall back on at that point, but yeah, I would agree. Still, obviously a very difficult thing to make that happen.
Enigma.
Great Kazuhiro. Takes away the burden of like the big AoE control, I guess, from the Jakiro this game. It wasn't quite as easy to do on Nyx Assassin as it will be on Enigma, even if the Black Hole isn't that big control, right? Obviously, it's the big threat, you hold and stuff, but even Midnight Pulse in sense of area denial, decent control through the Malefice. He's a good hero.
And you've got a couple of cool things you can do as well. If Na'Vi snowball people in, Black Hole is very good, obviously, against the landing snowball with the multiple heroes in
Actually, they have three heroes good against that. Now you mention it.
Clockwork and you're right, Clockwork and Jakiro as well with Ice Path and Cogs. But you can also bait out spells like Vacuum and Glimpse because Na'Vi don't have any quick and easy ways to cancel Black Hole. Sure enough, they can snowball, or they can glimpse, or they can, vacuum in. But they're all relatively long cooldowns, and you want to use those spells for different purposes. You want the vacuum for the combo. You want the glimpse to catch targets after you've used your combo to, add an additional kill here and there. You don't want to use these spells to cancel Black Hole, but at some point you're going to have to. And that just kind of alleviates a lot of the pressure from Team Secret to worry about the combo or the continuation of team fights just by having that one hero there. But PA for Na'Vi against the Jakiro Clockwork?
Definitely a BKB game.
Very early on, I feel, as well.
And we'll just go right back. Well, I mean, why wouldn't you against a Queen of Pain? Against a Phantom Assassin. Like, obviously, you don't really want to commit too heavily into physical damage, so Queen of Pain, she's buying a BKB. You're going to have the Sonic Wave now. Seems like a strong pick.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm intrigued.
It's gonna be a Pycat PA though, surely, and they have Dendy's hero as the fifth and final one.
Yeah,
but there are no steroids for the PA this game, which is what we are, kind of more commonly seeing either the Ogre or the Magnus for the Bollister.
Who do you pick out a mid to do that? Like, are they gonna try a mid Magnus? Do you just ban it anyway? Just because it's BKB piercing?
10 seconds.
Like it's good against the Enigma kinda?
I don't think you can. I'm wondering if the PA pick is a deterrent against the Troll pick that Secret had, because, we've seen Troll Clockwork, we've seen the last game, Troll Queen of Pain, just having that extra attack speed does amplify your damage so significantly. Even Troll Jakiro, Battle Trans Jakiro, a hero that has an awful base attack time and attack animation just pummeling people. PA's evasion definitely helps up against it, but there's so much magic damage here from Secret. It feels almost insane to pick a PA into it. Oh, that's a good ban.
Yep.
That's a great ban.
That would have given them a lot of mobility and freedom to the PA. Be like the Storm Spirit silencer combinations and whatnot, and then just obviously stopping the wombo combo, stopping the Enigma, made it a pretty... Yeah, having an Enigma on your team makes you just think about it, and then you...
Okay.
I mean, that's like... It's so good. Why wouldn't you? I actually don't see why you wouldn't just pick Troll. Like, it's just too good. You just did it. It worked.
Yeah, I honestly feel like the PA pick is trying to say, hey, Secret, don't pick Troll, guys, please. But Secret don't care. They go with the Troll anyway. They can target other people. They've got magic damage to kill the PA. They can target other people with their right clicks, like Disruptor, like Tusk. And
Must be something sneaky here.
5 seconds
Ah.
remaining.
Apparently not. Going for the Lena again.
Okay.
I'm worried, Trent.
Yeah.
I'm worried for Na'Vi.
Feels like it has to be extremely quick. Just like Iron Shell is the steroid. That's it.
Unless they do some kind of aggro tri-lane. Like you,
There's
but you
no
can't put a
way.
Darkseer against the Enigma because he just denies your Iron Shell creep early on.
Well, we'll have to see what they have in mind. You could still see it, I suppose, in terms of like quick aggression and moving forward. Maybe it still works out well for them. They just get a couple quick kills. Maybe the Darkseer gets that mech really fast online, or he even goes like faster for the helm that we used to see when there was like these super quick Darkseer builds and plays. But still,
I mean, there's quick
I'm
aggression
reaching
from
here.
Yeah, I understand there's quick aggression from the Tusk, the Lena, and to some extent even the PA, right? Once you hit level 3 or 4, you've got a couple of points up in the Dagger and the Blink Strike. But Secret have Clockwork that roams around at level 1 with Brown Boots, the fastest, most aggressive hero that we've seen in this patch, really. Able to do so much to not just set up kills, but to create chaos in lanes. You walk up, you zone people out, you piss people off, you contest pulls, you collect bounty runes, you steal away economy from your opponents. And Puppy's Jakiro is like an unkillable force moving around in the safe lane that you can't really zone out MP's Troll. I mean, I guess Na'Vi, once they hit level 6 on Lena and they start to look for this, movement out from Biva's Disruptor, they've got some really great smoke plays, right? Smoke has to be an important, like a massively important tool here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's true. This again, just early aggression, early kills, early snowball through there. And I'm hoping this overlay is gonna be the right size. Hopefully I picked the right one. Oh damn. Tower domination by Secret.
Oh, it's working
Not
now.
even close. Oh yeah, they fixed it for pro games, thankfully.
Nice.
Let's see if this
We won.
Is this the
We
right
did it,
size?
Reddit.
Oh, I think I did it. I think I got the right size, guys. Nice, we're in. All right, perfect. So
Congrats,
that's all
Trent.
set. Thank you. I'm pretty pleased with that. Turn on my hacks and give you guys some last hits. All right, we're in. So let's think more, I guess, in terms of like against the enemy team, perhaps the idea maybe they wanted the mobile core against the cogs. They got 4 staff buyers against Darkseer, or rather against the Clockwork in the Darkseer. That is.
Yeah, we've seen a number of Chinese players go for Hurricane Pike on Lena. I don't think I've seen too many European players do it, but it's definitely a valuable item. Shadowblade, Bloodstone, skip the Yules, then go Hurricane Pike a little bit later on.
Yeah, he wound
But
up with a force last game.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's
it makes
kind
a
of a
lot of sense.
necessity too. So
For sure.
I am still having a hard time giving a lot of credence over to the Na'Vi heroes. It just feels like there's so many better like outs for Secret, where it's like if they're behind, I can see this like hookshot or this Enigma doing some work. Whereas Na'Vi, if they get behind, I guess it could fall on general again. But that's what we were saying the entirety of last game. It's like it's on general. He has to find something, and a combination of just like very good vision from the side of Secret, but more importantly, the spacing. They didn't really give any openings to general. The only times he found it was in the chaos of team fights, and by then Dendi was dead too early numerous times to put out that damage. Oh, dual breath coming out.
It was dead.
Yeah. And MP might be as well, though. Fairy Fire,
Big
keep
Fairy
him up.
Fire.
Oh, the sound. Yo, the slow from Puppy. I think MP's going to be all right. Snako still wants to cancel
Pycat.
himself. Yeah, they just get him up on the high ground.
Oh boy.
The Regoose.
Can they chase Soneko? They hit him with a dual breath. They might be able to do this.
Yeah.
MP doesn't have axes for another 10 seconds though.
Yeah, and he's got shards. He should be fine.
Oh, that's disastrous. Like, you've got no heroes in your safe lane right now. Have they TP'd him bot? Pycat's low. Yeah, Pycat's out of there. He does not want to be involved. So it's actually Secret that run an aggro dual lane, forcing out the PA. But yeah, I can see what Na'Vi have. You know, they've got ways to kind of draw out and extend fights, get out of the initiations. They can glimpse back a Clockwork or a Queen of Pain when they play aggressively, Snowball to save people, Darkseer and Vacuum Wall to, you know, extend team. But extending team fights to what end? Like, what is your end goal? Finding a kill on Yapso here could be big.
It's all right,
but he's
though.
so tanky.
Yeah.
This is the strength of the full roll Clockwork, even without Stout Shield.
I was gonna
PMS,
say,
just
he's nothing. Like, he's got booties.
720 HP. He doesn't even need armor. He's got like 1 armor.
Mid one and Dendy trading pretty low here. I'm a little scared someone's gonna go for something a little crazy, but there's gonna be some salves up here. No T-Tor stay. Oh, mid one. That's a little crazy. Fairy fire. Oh. It was crazy.
A little bit
Well
crazy.
played. And he does give him the deny. That's a high five right there. My bad. Sends Dendy on back home.
Radiant's middle
But that,
tower
like, that is a slight miscalculation by mid one, but that's like how you meant to play this lane, right? You blink forward, you aggressively harass Lina so she can't just, you know, patter at you from long range
Pycat.
with right clicks.
Bottom. I think he's going down. I got him. Yapsor living again. No problems. No Stout Shield required. Life is good. 3-1 now for Team Secret. Of course, that
now
one kill,
General.
pretty good. General is up here.
Oh.
Oh, Snako came with the snipe. That was pretty
Yeah,
sick.
finds him. I was just watching General and Puppy go at it, punching each other. Iron Shell does a lot of damage, but so does Liquid Fire.
Damp on
Nice
the
scout
diving,
there as
Kezu.
well. Kezu knows they're coming in, though. Great TP. If he can get
Snowball?
out of this, Snowball.
Ooh.
So tight.
Alright, well, still, I mean, it's a free lane. Keep that pressure up. Top lane General still just kind of living up here. He's mildly okay with the situation. Great block here from Secret, making sure he can't just keep pulling and abusing this. So this essentially creates a safe lane for the Troll Warlord, and come 5 minutes, he even gets a shrine.
tower is under attack.
What time to be alive? Smoked up Clockwork mid lane. There's a DD onto our Lina, but I don't know about this.
Interesting Cog Snowball interaction there again. I think that's one of the most broken interactions in the game.
Oh yeah, how you get bounced out and then
Yeah. Or sometimes one hero goes in, one hero goes out. Sometimes 2 heroes go in and push the initial hero out. I think it's due to Snowball's collision size or some shit like that. It's just too big. Can't fit in.
it's huge.
Spotting the cogs is too small. But yeah, the mid lane matchup, mid one was, playing it correctly, just misjudging the Fairy Fire there from Dendy's Lina. Because you're meant to be blinking forward using Shadow Strike level 2 to harass her out. And then once she's harassed out and forced to salve, you
Like
go
that.
back and deny. Yeah.
Snako,
Like,
he's dead. There's no deny coming. I don't think.
yeah, he's gone. But yeah, imagine that's the Lina, right? You push her back, she'll likely survive, but have to sit behind her tower, wait out Shadow Strike, heal with a salve, bottle crow, and by then you get, 3 or 4 denies, which just amps up all of the experience that you've been gaining in lane anyway. Speaking of denies, 17 on MP's Troll. That's insane. What is he, nearly level 5 now at 4 minutes?
It really is like a safe lane, though. Like, General has nothing to pull. It just keeps coming to this tower. It's great. It's hard to gank. You have to come through this little choke point up here. Living the life. I'd be pretty happy if I was this Troll Warlord.
Yeah, you've just been left in a 1v1 that you are pretty much just winning straight up already. Yapsor and Puppy can leave the lane and look to make action in other lanes. And just look at how defensive Na'Vi is sitting. They've now placed the high ground ward mid lane behind the Lina to make sure that Yapsor doesn't come in from the north again. Snako is seemingly lost. Do I sit behind Dendy to save him if he's gone on? Do I go bot lane to try and find Kezu? Because that's what the rest of his team is doing. But Puppy's here.
Zone them on back. The dual breath.
Cat dead? There's no more
it's
liquid
close,
fire.
but not quite. And he's a salve. However, there's no mana left on Bivas, so they can't go for any sort of a glimpse play or anything on Puppy. So should be fine.
Empty
Mid lane. Raindrops now out here for Yapsor. Make him even more obnoxious to deal with.
Cat, he's found himself a decent amount of CS. Like, to be perfectly honest, he's died twice, but he's last hitting like a madman. He knows he needs some way to get back into this game. With a snowball forward, they'll get themselves a kill on Puppy.
Easy peasy. No
Look
real
how much
concern
damage
there.
Kezu does, though. But that's the thing, they get a kill, they've already burnt a salve, and now they're going to be forced back to Shrine.
Yeah.
Fortunate
and,
for them that Shrine's up.
Dendy's also in the jungle over here. Just doing his double Dragon Slave, farming up as fast as he can. But mid lane's empty, and this is that whole lane domination thing that we're talking about. You know, Queen of Pain, not a hero that was typically ever picked up that early in the draft. To see it third last game, and fourth isn't quite as bad as it was this game, but definitely someone who got some handy buffs. I think the whole shrine change, too, definitely helps her, right? Like, again, a hero that loves to, like, own you in that lane and try and get the advantage over you and just keep pushing and pressuring and never give up on it. When there's no shrine for the first 5 minutes, if she gets that, you're just done. You gotta walk home.
Yeah, Queen of Pain is a lane domination hero that likes to toe the line. You know, we saw the line break in front of mid one previously when Dendi Fairy fired. But you're exactly right. The shrines move the line. They move where that line is. And Queen of Pain kind of struggled in the previous patch with trying to figure out what to do exactly when people go back and shrine and they're full HP again. Because you've wasted, you know, 3 sets of Shadow Strikes, a couple of Screams and a Blink, all of your regen to apply this pressure. And it's completely negated. Not just mitigated, but fully negated by shrines. But now, mid one's found a nice little sweet spot. But also the build-up. You know, you're not a Bloodstone hero. You go for Treads. You go maybe for the double null Veil build. I think mid one did in the previous game. But you've got so many options as Queens of Pain nowadays. You can go physical right-click with, you know, the Maelstrom or the Blade Mail. You can go for the Orchid if you want to. Or even just rush a BKB.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Blade Mail Quap back as well. Who knows? I mean, even before the talent, Blade Mail Quap was still a thing, guys. Just so we're clear. I'm not crazy, but... Kezu, no, they don't get the Ice Shots from Seneko. Not quite on the money there. And that means Kezu's not trapped. And they don't have an easy kill opportunity. Comes back, though. Nice little play. No hookshot quite yet for Mr. 4.5 Yapzor, so don't have to worry too much. Big misstep there from Seneko, though. Trying to gank Kezu when he's level 5 would have been so good.
Yeah. I tried to find him, but you see there, you know, they're having to use glimpse and things to retreat back from fights when things go poorly. Not exactly what you want to be doing. The kind of silver lining is they do pull mid one from the mid lane. He moves down looking for the continuation of the fight, kind of expecting Na'Vi to commit, but he made the walk down in vain. Has to go back to the mid lane. Fortunately, Dendi doesn't want to be involved in that lane anymore. Back into the jungle, gets away from the Queen of Pain, who has now free route to take the runes, and it's a DD rune. This could open things up for mid one to go and find some kills over in the jungle.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of waiting on this level 6 from Kezu as well. However, he is under vision down here from a ward. Similarly, very nice vision mid, keeping an eye as to what Dendi's up to. But if they try and go for like a smoke play and try and go into a lane or something like that, they'll probably know what's going on. And well, it's actually the smoke coming from the Dire, trying to find MP, hoping that he would be all alone and everything. But post 5 minutes, pretty risky place to be ganking anyway. And
oh yeah, there's a troll in this game, isn't there?
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. 54 and 28. He seems to be doing all right. Swap over to net worth at this point. Looks good.
Yeah. Almost 3,500. He'll clear out a wave easily. Oh yeah, troll is pretty good against the Darkseer. I didn't really think about that, but with Whirling Axes up to level 2 now, he pretty much just clears a creep wave with a couple of extra last hit, right clicks to last hit them.
Yeah. It's one thing to have like a crit or something, or like a bash to kill the 1 iron shell, but then he even has that wave clear to take care of like the 2 or 3 iron shells once the levels start stacking up, and it's just...
Yeah.
He's fine.
One thing that Na'Vi are doing, though, is stacking jungle for Dendi. You know, with such a relatively poor laning phase for what Lenas expect in this patch, having huge stacks over here towards the eastern jungle is massive, honestly. You've got double null, you need your arcanes after Soul Ring, but it's that Bloodstone that you're desperately wanting at this point. Tank yourself up to deal with the Queen of Pain, nuke damage, and the initiation out from Clockwork, who is closing in on level 6. Yapzor is level 5.25. He's not that far away from hitting that ulti timing.
And again, this ward I feel like has done so much work for Na'Vi, though. It is really helping them, because if it wasn't for this ward, they might think that Kezu's like smoking up top or something like that right now, trying to use that black hole as mid one. He's thinking about it, but not gonna make the dive with the DD rune. Yeah, but like Puppy's just kind of sitting on the lane, right? Kezu's out of vision. You really don't know what they're doing if you can't see him just jungling there. But they know that he's still just down here, maybe thinking about applying some pressure and whatnot, but not really going to affect him. And an Arcane Rune would be great for Dendi, who can clear out these Eidolons down bottom with some very cheap and efficient Dragon Slaves, or in this case, head mid with it.
So what's the timing here for Na'Vi? Are they just waiting for Darkseer mech and then they go? Because he's skipped out on Arcanes. He's gone like Soul Ring into pretty much rushed mech. And I feel like that's what Na'Vi are kind of banking on, is the big team fight. The big ability to combo up a vacuum with an LSA, but I don't know, it's so difficult for them. Whereas Secret, they can start running at people once Clockwork hits 6, once they have this Enigma moving out of lane. can just go and look for fights whenever they want. Or they have the option, if they want to wait for Na'Vi to come to them. And I don't think Na'Vi have that option themselves.
Yeah, it doesn't feel quite as comfortable. Maybe there's a mid game where if everyone just farms and then this BKB comes up and Lina has an item, then we're on like even footing. But past that, it feels like it's gonna just keep tilting and tilting towards Secret's direction for sure. Especially with Kezu, of course. We've all seen these ridiculous enigmas lately. General getting a little greedy on the Eidolons, maybe. There is a hook shot coming through here.
They've got good vision as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Seeing Yapzor, and I think they caught a glimpse of Puppey as he moved across, but Yapzor, hook shot at the ready. Do they have a smoke on them? Courier is flying. Yeah, the Courier has a smoke. This is going to be the secret smoke play. Look for the Yapzor hook shot and use mid one, because his ultimate, is still there,
scan,
ready
though.
and waiting.
It's there, and now it catches. Oh, it's only the blink of the queen, though. And then they all come through and smoke. So they might think she's alone, possibly.
But they also place the observer ward after the smoke happens. I think Na'Vi are going to be in a false sense of security here. They've smoked themselves up and hiding on the ramp at the same time. Yapzor, does he know? He's like faking the animation. This is, oh man, he's
surprise! It's two heroes. The 2-for-1 special comes out for Clockwork. Dual breath flying out as well into Seneko and Pycat. Well, he's here. He's joining. There's a black hole from Kezu, though. And that's on 3. They're going to clean them all up. Pycat, he's trying to be the 4th. And successful. Damn.
Disaster. Absolute disaster, Trent. He didn't even know the Tusk was there.
No, that's the best hookshot of his life.
He was looking for the Lina. All he wants is the Lina. He catches 2 in there. There was a good snowball from Seneko to save himself, but he didn't pull Dendi in. He could have dodged the Sonic Wave on himself and Dendi, but he didn't pull Dendi in. Dendi didn't pull himself into the snowball. So a bit of miscommunication there. I don't know if Dendi was stunned at the same time by battery assault or something. But it was relatively simple for Secret just to continue the fight. Bring in MP, whirling axes galore. It looked a little bit close when everyone dropped low. There was a good vacuum. There was a good jump in from Pycat. But Kezu's black hole was really the thing that secured everything for Team Secret.
And we often kind of talk about the first black hole of the game almost in jest, It's always the worst thing. It's always like, it's a solo black hole. It's the first black hole. No one cares. It's fine. It never does anything, right? You're like happy black holing a support, basically. A lot of the time after you've hit level 6 as Enigma. That's probably one of the best first black holes I've seen in a game. To come out that early, no mobility items. You just walked up and black holed them.
I know, it was huge. Then you got, like liquid fire and dual breath and macro pyre and everything else from Puppey down on the playing field. I didn't check the fight recap, but I'm assuming Puppey did a lot of the damage in that team fight. Now the lead only extends for Secret. What is it? 5,000, 5,500 net worth?
That is huge.
So they've got so much. It's just the Troll and the Queen of Pain, though. These 2 snowball heroes are snowballing. They have fit the bill. They've got the items they need. And it's going to be so difficult to stop them just shoving into towers at this point. So Na'Vi go for a trade.
Well, they're certainly not getting a very fair deal here. I don't think. Might have to work on their trade negotiations because they're going to lose potentially 2 towers and they're not even going to get 1. I don't want to look away here as Yapzor. He's thinking about this hook shot. Biva, he's just going to walk on him, and now he's going to hold the hook shot when PA comes in. They've lost Seneko. He's snowballing probably onto Yapzor. Yeah, he'll go in, but Yapzor's ready for it. And that's a canceled TP. That means Pycat's stuck on the other side of the map, and uh-oh. Where do we go from here? Do they dare?
I don't think you go high ground. You go Roshan, right?
That would be too scary. I'd be impressed,
ward enemy jungle and go high ground. Go Roshan or something.
Yep.
There's a good preemptive sentry from Na'Vi to block out any potential wards coming through, but they've already got one towards the Ancients in the Dire jungle. But they've just secured themselves a massive swathe of land. Basically this entire 2/3 of the map now belongs to Secret. All they have now is General punching away at a tower, like 30 seconds of him just punching that tower over and over again, while Secret take Aegis.
Yeah, they need to renegotiate. This was not a fair deal. This is all of these for that. Oh, Roche. Vlad's makes this easy. And, I don't know. You feel like you have to fight, but you can't. No, they're going. They have Static Storm. They have Laguna Blade. It's level 2.
Invis Kezu with Black Hole in 5 seconds. If Na'Vi contest this, they could just be done for.
Oh, Kezu's just waiting. You, want them to come. You don't even want to finish Roche yet. You might as well just slow down and make use of this thing. There's Static Storm. It's on to 2. Silence up the Queen of Pain. Kezu, he's still looking for it. Comes out of the Invis. There is a sentry down on the ground, so they spot him. Waiting for the black hole. He doesn't get it off onto 2. It'll just be the 1, but it is Dendi. And 15.5 minutes, that's a Roche timer, but might be a game timer here. 6,500 gold lead. They'll lose the Queen of Pain, but they gain quite a bit for it.
Amazing Static Storm by the Disruptor. Honestly, that was the only reason Na'Vi even stood a chance in that fight. Kezu, he was pinging out saying he wanted to play it safely, like you were saying, and pull back to this spot here from where he was and wait for the aggressive move from Na'Vi into the pit. But it looked like Puppey and Mid1, they just moved forward. They wanted to find fights here. They wanted to go and kill. So Kezu was mildly out of position and couldn't get a big black hole.
Yeah.
But in the end, trading Mid1 for the opponent mid laner as well as that Aegis of the Immortal, especially when your mid laner has gone for this Veil into Yule's build, and you know that Dendy's laner is trying to get Bloodstone, and at this point in time, he's still, another 400 gold or 300 gold away from it. You are delaying that Bloodstone later and later, making it even less useful.
Yeah, Kezu, it felt like Kezu was just like counting the spells too, right? The snowball came in, the Static Storm got dropped, and Darkseer threw out some things. He's like, oh, I guess as long as I just black hole this Lina, I should be fine, right?
Yeah. He did pop his mech beforehand. The mech kept a couple of people alive during the Static Storm. There is the Lina Bloodstone, has it at long last. 17 minutes in though, not the best, but still decent timing for Dendy, especially the way this game has been going.
Yeah, but you just smoked up. You just used a bunch of spells, and it didn't go too well. Now you have to try and do it again with this Bloodstone. Certainly not a lot of fun. They're keeping their eye on them with this Radiant Ward down here. Just keep pinging and pinging. Clock will try and push the wave, and Biva still not going to place a spotted ward or anything. He just does a little dance around here.
Look at his quick buy, Trent.
the life, dude.
He knows the rest of this game he is buying sentries and observer wards for the next, foreseeable future, unless he gets an ultra kill or something. There's no way he gets an item this game.
Dude, who needs items when you hit a 3-man Static Storm like that? Clearly, it seems like, look, he did it on Tranquils before, just do it again. General stuck inside, the big combo, man, they need this guy. Look, there it is, it's 4! They have the vacuum to help him out. It's a little bit of training wheels, but it was still beautiful. Mid-1, trying not to go down again in this team fight, and so far only losing Yapsor. Pycat getting punched away here. Nice snowball this time. And he's following after. It might be enough to get them all out of here. There's a blink on forward from Pycat, but Snako goes down. Oh, he actually got Pycat with that scream too. I thought he had escaped to the high ground, but beautiful old scream, of course, hits everybody.
MP's just a bulldozer at this point. He walks into the middle of 4 heroes, not a care in the world, starts pummeling. Pycat drops into 150 HP. Snowball from Seneko saves him for a little while. MP just continues running in. Yeah. Even though the snowball would be dragged towards the tier 3, he just continues running in, looks for another target, finds Dendy, hits him a couple of times, just forcing Na'Vi back into their base. But these are all the problems that we kind of knew Na'Vi would have in these team fights. They're having to use Glimpse defensively to try and send back mid-1, but it wasn't enough because he just had Blink up again anyway. They're trying to use Snowball to defensively play. They have aggressive tools, but every time they get a chance to use them, or every time there's an opening, they have to use them defensively to keep key heroes and key elements of their team fight alive, like the PA, who has a Vlad's. Yeah. Nearly 20 minutes in, and a PA with a Vlad's and face boots. Sure, she can do damage through crits, but it's RNG based. You don't have that consistent, guaranteed damage that Na'Vi, that Secret have through the Queen of Pain or even through the Troll Warlord, who of course is still holding Aegis.
That's rough, and like you can't even really fault Pycat for going to Deso either, because they're not going to win a fight if he gets BKB at this point. At least that's not what it feels like. This troll is a maniac. They have Black Hole, so he needs the damage. But then there's so many other things that can hurt him here. His General Zone back. That is a good little veil, and oh, that's a nice hook shot. Yasuo's actually on fire this game. The Ice Path comes through. The Macropyre as well. The rest of the Dire will just have to retreat and hope they can survive.
That's a game-ending hook shot.
It really is.
Like that hook shot right there, catching 2 heroes again and then trapping both inside the cogs. They didn't even need to expend anything. They've got Sonic Wave in 15. They have Black Hole. They can go high ground here. Put MP up on top of the ramp. Mid-1 can stand around. Battle Trance can get popped in 8 seconds time, and they'll take this tier 3 with relative ease. There's no glyph even for a long time.
That's it. That's 35 seconds left on Aegis still. I mean, this should be melee racks 100%. They're still holding Black Hole. Like, this has got to be easy.
Look at Kezu's build as well, mech and pipe. So even if Na'Vi get a combo down, they've got the heal and the magic damage block that they need.
Maybe though. Mid-1 a little in deep, but nice Eul Scepter baits in, and it's only a 1-man Static Storm this time. Can't find the vacuum follow-up as we're still running from the fountain as General.
But they can't commit into this box because Kezu's standing here, and the Black Hole would just fuck them up. You can't go in.
Oh well.
Puppy.
the and one. It's going to be Puppy. I don't know.
Maybe.
They're not even going to give up the dragon. This is the team. Oh, the one hook shot finally going to miss here. And that might be a mercy bit for Na'Vi, but Seneko not going to be feeling the mercy. He's dead in the tree line. And oh, look, it's mid one. He's in again. Would you believe it? That is a big old vacuum. I know it's 4 heroes, but YapzOr's like, come with me, team. We march. Mega kill streak. There's a wall here. They're farming illusions at this point, basically. Yeah, give me that 5 gold. Oh, Puppy, he finds one too. Genius. 15k lead, my friend.
So where's the crash and burn spam?
I don't know.
Secret?
You guys need to watch some
We are
NA
missing.
casts. It's great. Actually,
We are
did you see
missing
that Na'Vi tower battle? Dude, they're compendiums. They're not even high enough to have the crash and burn. That's a crash and burn
really?
right there.
Oh dear, that is sad. Who was it the other day? Was it It's VP? VP and Empire do it a lot, right? The crash.
yeah.
It's VP that does the crash and burn, but Empire likes the other ones.
VP and Empire were, I mean, they were dropping items to each other in lanes, much like Snakeo's just dropping in front of our face. I don't even feel it's worthy talking about, honestly, at that point. That was a weird
Oh, no.
TP. Am I crazy?
No, I just watched
Can't he
him die.
see them hitting the building?
This is where you drop the question mark.
How does
I
that
believe.
TP? How does that not get canceled? Snakeo's done. He's going for the deny play or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I am beyond words right now.
That's
for
a ward,
Na'Vi.
right? Like,
Maybe he thinks he's a ward.
I think he thought maybe he
thinks
could
just-
zone them back. He's like, yeah, surely they'll leave with their
If I
black
go in,
hole.
they'll think other people are coming in.
Yeah.
Haha.
Well, didn't work.
Secret just entire map domination. Mid one should find Biver here. Looks for the scream into fog, but he's got the Yule Scepter to catch out the disruptor. Is he trying to TP? Oh, well.
Yeah.
How about a sonic wave to your backside? I should cancel a TP. He's even timing it. I guess that's a good sign, right? Na'Vi not giving up. They're timing ultis still.
Nice little play too, having that Yule Scepter. That's pretty handy, just because you know, longer time that he could possibly glimpse you and save himself. So, no option available there. And there she is, though, the BKB for MP. 5 letters strung together. It should enter into 2 other ones that say GG, I believe, actually.
Literally unkillable.
Yes.
No, seriously, how do you kill MP through BKB?
Like 7 PA crits. Go.
7 PA crits. Let's do it. Let's go.
Begin.
The
YapzOr,
high ground siege.
probably very upset about his stats right now after missing that one. Oh god, that's so tempting. That's...
Well, look at them, Disruptor and Lina. If he could only see them, he would go for that behind the
dude,
tier
they're
3
under
without
flare.
a shadow of a doubt.
he sees them.
He doesn't see the others though. Like,
Yeah, it's true. He doesn't know exactly where the backup is.
there's other
but
people.
It's good patience there. They do have decent wave clear. I mean, that is one thing that Lina gives you, but turns out Secret aren't in a hurry. That's odd. You don't no pressure to just end this game here with a 16k lead. Of course, they can't really tell how high it is, but I'm sure they know. And Kez is going back for the same build that he did before, right? This is what he called his Han build, where he went for this the mech, the pipe, and then right into the Bloodstone to make sure you have the mana for
Yeah.
everything. And then you pop both cooldowns, and then you suicide, and then you just like TP back into the fight. It's pretty ownage.
It's such a good counter to what, like, Navi's one, it's not win condition, but Navi's one condition to get back into the game is a big vacuum into LSA, snowball, just everything thrown in with a static storm, right? If you have an Enigma who can pipe mech and then suicide, only one hero is going to die during that combo. And it's going to be the Enigma who suicides. Everyone else is going to be healthy and alive, not going to die, and then the Enigma comes back in.
Yeah.
So sure, it's his Han build, but in this game I think it's even more powerful than we could ever imagine.
Well, I believe that's a Deso dagger right there, that thing that's tickling MP. Keep him up. Yeah, get him.
Come on, Pikecat.
All
Show
right.
him what you got.
They're trying to make him BKB here, but Puppy's just helping out with the Glimmer Cape as well.
MP gets glimmered and then just proceeds to hit creeps. He doesn't care. Roshan up in what, like 10 seconds? 15? 14? Nice.
Boy, there's
Na'Vi
some way
bunkered
we
down
can
in their
know.
face. Yeah.
Thanks, Valve.
What a lovely little icon. Thank you, Valve. Thanks, PGL.
Yeah, that too. Thanks, Moonduck. Net worth it.
Thanks, BTS.
Yeah, thanks, B. Fight recap. That one might have been the most important one, not gonna lie. Smoke comes out here from the Dire, marching forward. The Desperation. They have a Shadow Blade to initiate from Dendi. Detection, Radiant. I'm not seeing any sentries here. They have a gem on YapzOr, though.
Where's Kezu? Like the only thing that's important right now is
Kezu.
Kezu's positioning. If he gets found, it's relatively important.
I think it's almost like he wants it. The combo's coming out here. 5 heroes dropping relatively low on the dire side. They're going to lose 2 right away. Everyone's still hearty and healthy on the Radiant. Kezu the only one who's even low, but he's dropping a black hole. The base comes out. He's quite fine. And Dendy's
Dendy's
slinking.
dead as well.
That's GG.
Yeah.
Well, now I understand why the casters didn't even show up for this series. No wonder.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Why are we
Annihilation.
even here, Trent? Why are we even here, Trent?
Oh, God. The other guys just said, nah. Doesn't sound like it's worth my time. I think that one's going to be over pretty quick. And sounds like he was quite right. 26 minutes, 24-6. Team Secret looking good. Yeah, it's good to see them bounce back. At least in terms of, like, I want them to be strong right now because of how well they performed at Kiev and how they lost in the first round. I love SG Esports. For sure. I thoroughly enjoy casting those guys. I've been casting them forever, and I'm glad that they really helped the SA scene and helped validate the fact that there was an SA invite. But you can't just ignore the fact that Secret destroyed the group stage, and then they were done. So I'm happy to see them. Obviously, they made like no major changes, just a little bit of a swap out there with Yapsor, which I think is awesome. Love Yapsor.
My little yappy.
Plus, it gives us like half of like old C9s almost back together, so it was a beautiful trade both ways. And just excited now for Team Secret to be joining at Epicenter, right?
Yeah, that's them qualified now.
At least everyone told me this was a best of 3. It's not a 5 or anything, is it?
No, that's a best of 3 as far as I know.
Yeah, I'm just checking. I only just showed up here, guys. I don't really know what's happening.
So Clutch Gamers, Thunderbirds, LGDFY, and now Secret is the final qualifier from EU and CIS. So we've got our qualifiers from Epicenter, and I believe there's 1 slot remaining that's yet to be decided.
Ooh.
As far as I know.
Well, I don't really know.
Who's it going to be? Because they posted on their Facebook, they kind of baited us or trolled us or whatever they're doing. They're tickling our fancy, saying, is it going to be SG? Is it going to be Na'Vi? Who's going to be voted in? Who's going to be chosen? We don't know yet.
Yeah, I like how I saw the Summit was doing something where it's like the winners of certain tournaments are like getting invited to the Summit and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Anyway, all of those tournaments are coming up in the near future, and of course the one you're most excited for has got to be Epicenter. That beautiful production value, so shout out to Epicenter getting her done. Our cast is over for today. It's been at TrentPax, and the man who I was too lazy to even add into the title once he joined for Game 2, it's Gareth. What's your handle? What's your Twitter handle? Is it at GDcast? It's at Gareth Cast.
At Gareth Cast.
Sorry.
Well, I want my real name. I want to be Gareth Bateson, but someone has stolen that handle on Twitter, and then they've been banned or whatever it's called. They've been suspended. That's the word. They've been suspended from Twitter.
Oh, naughty boy.
Bastards.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Shout out to all the sponsors who you can still see on your screen because I think I still have that overlay going low. Sorry about the last-minute production there, but I just want to bring you guys some Dota, and this is what we wound up with. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of Star Ladder as it continues, and enjoy 7.06, new patch, your pubs, and that glorious IO Arcana. We're done.
Bye.